Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back for Dundee, Deal or No Deal Island, episode number 2. And we've got a lot to talk about here today with our Deal or No Deal crew here on Hit or Quit. Back with us, the queen of Hit or Quit. Here she is. It's Jenny Autumn. Jenny, how are you?
Dondi!
Dondi!
When Dondi Day comes around, just there's a lightness in my step. I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm ready to talk to the banker. Listen, I'm still having a great time. Boston Rob is on our TV.
Yeah.
Like he's like mentoring people. He's like
working with young people. Yeah.
This is what we need
It's
right
great.
now. Okay, so I'm great. I'm very happy.
What a throwback.
Yeah.
We're having fun here on Dundee, and of course, here he is, our intrepid interviewer talking with all of the Dundee contestants after they get voted out. Here from RHAP Kickback, it's Chappell.
Hey, Dundee.
Dundee.
I am loving this position as Chief Dundee on the scene reporter.
Yes. Yes.
With the exit interview.
Hey,
our embedded reporter with the Dundee cast, Chappell, is getting ready to talk to the second player eliminated from Dundee. Chappell will have an interview tomorrow with Jamil.
And I got a lot of questions to ask Jamil. Number one, how are things with you and your ex-wife? Did that work out? Because I know you didn't win the money. She doesn't seem like that was like it feels like that would have helped Jamil. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because it sounded like Jamil told his ex-wife, "Hey, I'm gonna go on a show and win millions of dollars," and she was like, "Okay, well, get back to me then.
Let me know."
And then he's coming home without the millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I have so many, like, I really, really need to hear more. I honestly feel like we were robbed of more of Jamil talking about this storyline because
Chappell, get to the bottom of this.
We were like the way that he talked about it was so confusing because he was like, I have, their Reverie and we have 3 kids together.
Yep.
And then he said, one thing he said, I was not acting the way a husband should. And I'm like, I would love some elaboration on
yada
that.
yada.
The extreme yada yada.
Yada the best part.
The drama. And then he says that he lets her know that he's coming on and he might win like over $1 million. And if he does, will she take him back? And you can tell that this was a like over text communication or possibly like on the computer, like maybe like an AOL chat room or something, because he showed he said yes. And he was showing as it was typed on the screen. Like this was not a verbal conversation that the two of them had.
But Chappell, is this the ultimate life hack where, you're married, you get out of the marriage, you win a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Then go back in
rich.
Go back in, and now, hey, all right, it's prenup time.
Right. But see, that's the thing. If you got out of the marriage and then you win the money, I think the money then opens you up to new possibilities. So you're like, do I want that old marriage back, or do I want to see how the millionaires date and marry? I don't know. I feel like that might complicate things enough.
Because if there's some kind of alimony situation, that's based on pre-Dundee, right?
I don't know how that works.
If I'm divorced, then I come into a windfall on Dundee, then they don't go back and retroactively change the alimony, right? If I've changed my station in life.
If you're, I think that
Jamil it was the perfect crime, Jamil. You almost had it.
Yeah.
And he would have got away
if it
with
wasn't for that damn meddling Kim Mattina.
Yeah. Listen, Kim Mattina is, hey, I come here to champion Kim Mattina as what we're going to see as one of the villains, if not the villain of this season. And the show has identified that as well, because the previously on Deal or No Deal Island, they showed a whole different story than we saw in the first episode. The first episode was Branson went and did a thing. Everybody was like, hey, Branson, not loving that. So let's get him out. The Deal or No Deal Island, they showed us previously on Deal or No Deal Island, Kim Mattina was running the game, and Boston Rob knew that he had to be the one to take her down.
Branson did not come up in previously.
They were like, he's gone. We won't
I do not know this man.
Of what he did.
Who is this person you talked to last week, Chappell?
It was Branson. I talked to Branson. And you know what?
Great.
He was awesome. But Deal or No Deal Island said that story wasn't good enough. Let's show you Kim Mattina versus Rob. And look, this show could be a very interesting show, or it could be a very boring show. And I think listen, I think it's way more interesting when you have a very clear villain and hero of a story that you can root for and root against. And I think you can even love to root for or love to root against certain people too. And so when it comes to Kim Mattina versus Rob, the show has shown us exactly what they're looking for. They said, listen, this is the story we're trying to paint. If Rob is our hero, who is his biggest foil? Ladies and gentlemen, meet Kim Mattina.
Yeah.
So is that where we're at with Rob now? Like Rob is, I mean, I would say we're all very invested in Boston Rob's success on this show. So I would say
I'm not even going to be on the podcast anymore if he gets out.
Rob's going to quit if Rob is gone. So he is our hero here. I just think it's so funny. Like we started this being like, in the first episode, it's revealed that Rob played Survivor, and it's like, oh, like what was the theme? And it's like, oh, you were a villain. But it's like, yeah, well, here I am on Dondi. I'm the hero. Mm-hmm. But Kim Mattina seems very, very happy to be the villain. Like she came in knowing that this was her role. So you know what? As long as everyone, I think, is happy with the role that they're playing here and no one's being done dirty.
Kim's playing the long game. She's going to be on the Traitors next season, Jenny.
Listen, that's like, you got to be 2 shows ahead,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would much rather be
this rivalry is playing out on Traitors season 3, Chappell. Kim Mattina and Boston Rob in the turret.
In the Traitors' house. That's what I'm talking about. And they're both traitors. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Give it to me. Listen, I would much rather be in the Kim Mattina spot than the Jamil spot.
I've been there. It's not ideal.
Right. The Jamil spot where you basically go home because you're not Boston Rob. That's pretty much it. I mean, the show does not do this man justice. He was on it for 2 episodes and we barely know anything about him. So yeah, I think if you have the opportunity to make a name for yourself by being a big bad, then you do that. And I think Kim Mattina's doing a good job of that.
Yeah. Okay. So Chappell, we'll have an exit interview with Jamil all season long. Make sure you subscribe to our Hit or Quit podcast feed to make sure that you get all of those exit interviews. We'll have them on our YouTube channel as well as robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. Of course, you can watch this on our YouTube channel if you are listening to the podcast version, robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. Okay. I thought this was great, this episode. I'm loving Dondi.
It's so fun.
And can I say, well, go ahead, Jenny.
I was just gonna say, I feel like a lot of the criticisms of the 90-minute premiere were the donned part of the Dondi, the Deal or No Deal game. It dragged a little bit at the end. And I think that so this is our first true 1 hour regular runtime episode. And I felt like it got, that part of the episode was a lot shorter, and the game has started now.
Yes.
Last week, Branson, well-intentioned, made himself the very easy first target. We had a very exciting game with Aaron, and Branson was the obvious boot. Now we have things happening. So we're getting more of the alliances and people talking and people scheming. And this is the stuff that we were so excited for. So I felt like it was a great episode.
Well, Jenny, if I may speak to your first point about the Deal or No Deal game in the Banker's Temple, I thought a big change and a good change was they go from 20 suitcases to 12.
Yes. And is that going to be going forward, or did this have something to do, was it always going to be that way because of the challenge? Because the way that the challenge was, they were divided into pairs of 2. So I guess, so 6 pairs, and they won 6. Did they even win 6?
They would have had
Melissa didn't get one.
Exactly. They got the lowest case automatically. Brittany.
Were there only 6 cases that up to be shot at? Period?
No, more than 6. There was more.
It was more. It was more.
Oh, they just gave them the lowest one that was.
Yeah. So Rob, I think that as long as they're in pairs, you're going to get less cases, but to Jenny's point, if they're doing a single challenge, then you have
Chappell,
the potential to
I
have
think
much
that
more.
they, after doing it once, I think they realized 20 is too many suitcases. I think that maybe it's not always 12, but I think we're going to see the lower number of suitcases.
Well, it's less people too, so that helps, so even
but we didn't lose 8 people.
No, but we've lost 2 now. And so if they do one more pairs, then you get it down to where it's reasonable, I think. Or some people might get immunity so they don't even have to be in the, I think that, if you can start to just separate these people and maybe segment them into where these people have 8 cases or 6, like you said, a little less, then it makes it more fun.
But Chappell, do you think that when we get down to like 6 people, there's only going to be 6 suitcases up there?
Can't be, right? And so
right,
I don't know.
I think they're going to keep it like around that 12 number. If I had to guess.
Yeah, it was solid. Like you said, I think it moved relatively quickly. It was fast. It was kind of suspenseful as well. And I understood the game a lot more this time. Like I had a real good feel of what the hell was going on. Yeah, because at first
it was a lot easier with less numbers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm numbers blind, so it was never going to work out for me.
I relate.
So we'll talk about all that. Let's get into everything that was going on here on Dundee. And so we got the morning after everything went down with Branson, and this relationship is really at the heart of the show. Rob and Aaron. Boston Rob says Aaron is his #1 ally.
I mean, we felt that, although the episode details, other allies or minions, as some of the other players will refer to them, that Rob has in his pocket. So it seems like, Rob is building his army, but his true #1 is Aaron. And it seems like, they're almost like divide and conquering kind of relationship, because it's like they don't even actually spend a lot of time just hanging out. Because I do think that they're so different. Whereas you see like Rob hanging out more in the water with like the people that are a little bit like closer in age to him. Like you see him hanging out with Jamil and Claudia. And it's almost like he's kind of gathering his people, and then Aaron's kind of gathering some of his people, but they return together and talk. Now we know we're getting a lot of Rob's feelings about Aaron. We're still not getting a lot of how much that Aaron is prioritizing Rob.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting where I'm not sure if Aaron is technically Rob's #1 ally. I think Rob tells Aaron he's his #1 ally, but Rob seems to have like his own group with Claudia, with Jamil, with at least
Nick.
one of the
Nick,
other guys.
And then I think there's some Miranda.
Yeah, but for Rob, I think that this like little brother relationship is working for him, except for the fact that Aaron can't keep his mouth shut. And Rob says that sooner or later, Chappell, this could be a problem.
It's not even just that he can't keep his mouth shut. It's just that Aaron is young and he is making rookie mistakes that Boston Rob probably could have made the first time he played Survivor. But 5 seasons of Survivor, The Amazing Race, a damn HGTV show, and now this, he's not making those same like mistakes, right? So there's moments where he's talking about Kim Bettina. Him and Aaron are really chopping it up. Kim Bettina comes out the water, and Aaron's instinct is, oh God, here she comes. Let me be quiet. And Rob's like, no, you don't be quiet. You change the subject. You keep talking so that person doesn't know that you're talking about them. Aaron, come on. Come on, keep up. This is reality TV 101. But Rob is now teaching the class, right? He's like, okay, Aaron, you're my pupil. I can't let you get too far away because you're still out here doing stuff you shouldn't do. And so, yes, there are definitely moments where Aaron goes rogue. And it's not that he's doing it on purpose to like, oh, let me get from under Boston Rob. It's just, he's young and that's what they do. And he doesn't know the games like Rob does. But Rob is like, let me go reel this kid back in. So that's the dynamic they have right now, at least from my perspective.
Okay. So
he said he was going to put him in the corner if he had to, which I really wonder what that means.
Yeah. You're going to have to put him in the corner.
It is really fun.
Aaron, though, Jenny, I would love to get your take on then, that there is maybe a temptress, maybe
I don't
with
think
the
that
womanly wiles that
I don't
Alyssa, here comes Delilah, ready to tempt Aaron away from Rob?
I don't think that it's quite like that, but I do feel that Aaron trusts and prioritizes his relationship with Alyssa over Rob, but also understands that working with Rob and having Rob's power on his side is very helpful to his game. But we see how he is with Alyssa, and I think Alyssa is a very skilled game player. Like, this was Alyssa's breakout episode here. And they have like a very, very cute friendship. She's a pretty girl. I don't think it's like that. I mean, apparently Aaron has a girlfriend. She was his lucky charm during the Deal or No Deal game. And but it seems like they have a nice pure friendship. They have like this beautiful conversation about feeling like the other is a really genuine person. But I see in Aaron, sweet, lovable Aaron. I think he's too good. He's too sweet. And this is not to say that I think that Alyssa has ill will. I think that she genuinely likes Aaron and
I think she has ill will.
I think he has ill will.
I mean, I think she has the will to win, and she knows that he's a good person to have, in her pocket. But I think that he's just like, he's gonna have a really hard time, holding anything back from her. Like, she definitely holds the power in that relationship.
Because Chappell, that I feel like that when Alyssa talks to Aaron and she's asking him about Rob, he's like, oh, he's just from the same town as me. That's really it.
I've seen him on TV or something.
From the same town of Boston.
Old guy. Yeah. Listen, I give Alyssa, like, Jenny's giving Alyssa credit, but I give her way more credit. I think Alyssa and Rob have both identified their mark. They said, this is the guy. I'll keep him near me.
The tug of war.
Yeah, is this going to be the real battle?
Well, I think if Rob is keen to it, then yeah, he should be looking at Alyssa as a problem. Now he cannot go after Alyssa because Aaron's not going to love that. But at the same time, if anybody's going to drag Rob away from Aaron, it is Alyssa. She's like, hey, friendship, blah blah blah. So tell me, what about the game? And Aaron's like, yep. What do you want to know? I just starts giving her boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you're safe. Well, who else wants to be safe? Nick, come over here and sit down. Come party with us. We're gossiping. Like, Aaron was holding court when he got immunity. And Rob is like, oh, God, I got to reel this kid back in. When he sits down with Aaron, the first thing out of Aaron's mouth is, I told Alyssa she was safe. What are you going to do? I was like, Rob, shut it down. Shut it down. The reason, the biggest reason why I think that Alyssa, although she might be friends with Aaron, is looking at him as a dollar sign because she says, I can take him to the final two because I can beat him in physical challenges. And she's like, and that's all that I need to know.
And I'm like, the final two is going to be a physical challenge?
Yes, I had the same reaction, Rob. I was like, do
it's like, wait, what show is this? Yeah, I don't know how this works.
To be fair, all the challenges have been physical. Kim Mattina, what we did not see, if you have not listened to my exit interview, check it out. But Kim Mattina got medevaced essentially from the mud. And then they had to climb trees in this challenge.
But Chappell, it's going to come down to two people, and then they're going to face off in a physical challenge, and then the winner is going to go to the Banker's Temple. That's how it's going to work?
I mean, that seems like what Alyssa thinks. And I mean, based off of what we've seen so far, there's not been a little bit of a puzzle in this game so far. It has been, can you climb the trees? Or are you willing to climb higher than everybody else? Can you shoot better than everybody? How can you dig through the mud as good as everybody else? These people said, you came out here to glamp, but you're going to do these excursions as well. I'm with Alyssa. I think she might be onto something.
Okay. Well how come nobody wants to...
game? We just don't know what the end game looks like, because it's like, is it going to be like a face off in some sort of challenge to decide who the final person is? Like, there's got to be some other piece to it. So it was just very interesting that Alyssa is like, yeah, I'm going to take this person to the final two, which there's a final two. We didn't know that part. And I can beat them in a challenge, which is all that needs to happen. It was just kind of an interesting.
What they gonna do? Questions? Like days competition? Like, let's say if this was Survivor, they'd be making fire. You know what I'm saying? She knows something coming to set these people apart.
It's Dondi. We don't know yet.
Alyssa knows. Alyssa be knowing. She's the one to watch.
Okay. She's talking to the banker then.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about where Kim is in this episode. And so she's on to Jamil. Jamil comes over and is asking her about what's going on. She's like, I'm not telling him anything. He's Boston Rob's spy. He's a snitch. I'm not telling him anything.
But
and then
should we talk about the conversation that the two of them had first?
Please.
Because I wanted both of your takes on like who did the worst job in this conversation
Jamil
of Kim and Jamil. Because we have Kim talking to Jamil and being like, yeah, like, you know, Rob is the person that you know we should just be going for, and Jamil's just like and like he's being so awkward. But Kim is also being very direct and just throwing out names. Like, we don't know when this conversation took place, but she accurately tracks that like he's not receptive to this at all, and this confirms to her that he's working with Rob. So I mean, I do think that this was a very key thing in, you know, Jamil ultimately being the person that goes at Kim's hands at the end of this episode. But I feel like it was kind of wild. And I think also adding to like Kim's maybe not great reputation across the island at this point, where she's just going up to people without having really any idea what their relationship is with Rob, and just being like, everyone's on board to just get rid of Rob. So like, was it just bad on both of their parts, or did like Jamil really just like fumble this? I don't know. I thought it was just a funny conversation.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that Kim and a lot of other people just think Rob is such a target. Why would we not get behind this school of thought that we should just get out Rob? So when you go to somebody and say, this man is playing 800 reality shows and he's won a couple, let's get him out, and people go, yeah, you're probably like, what? Why are you acting like this? Like, no, he's the target. The man don't need the money like we need the money, because he's won these other game shows. So we know he's not in the same situation we're in. He got his own TV show. We got to shut this down. And when they kind of, Jamil's like, oh, interesting. He's like, no, that's the wrong answer. So yeah, I'm with you. Kim definitely didn't do herself any favors, but I just think she's operating on the assumption that we're all here to get out who would be the biggest threat. But Rob, you've seen it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Nobody has the ability to corral a gang of people behind them like Boston Rob. Like, it's like you look up and they're like, there's Boston Rob's crew, and then there's the anti-Boston Rob. Like, how does he have a crew? It's been a day.
Yeah, well, I think that, and we don't really see Boston Rob and Claudia talk, but I think you have sort of like the two heavy hitters, and they're on one side. And I definitely feel like that there's a lot of people who are there who probably want to be with the cool kids, you know, want to be with, okay, he's famous, she's famous. Am I going to hang out with them or Kim and Tina?
Yeah. Look, if I'm Jamil, I'm not leaving far from Claudia Jordan's side. You know, I'm just not. Like, so wherever she at, I'm there. But and she's on the team with Rob, essentially. So there you go. But they were looking at Jamil as Rob's lieutenant. They're like, oh, you're the vice president of the Rob fan club here, you know, or the Rob crew. And so, yeah, he just, I don't know. He has a way of, you know, it's very polarizing. I would say that. Rob rarely has everybody on his side, but when he gets a crew, it's really hard to get into that crew. And he does a good job of gatekeeping it too. I mean, this episode, y'all, was Boston Rob at his best. We saw like him do all the things that you want from Boston Rob in one episode.
And it's been fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. I wanted to, like, do you feel, and is Jamil a little bit of the glue in the Claudia Rob?
Is he a glue guy?
Well, because I just don't, I mean.
Is he the bridge between Rob and Claudia?
That's what I thought, because we see at the end, Claudia is out for blood after Jamil goes here. She very much was close with Jamil.
Yeah. And
Jamil and Rob seemed to be a close thing, and everyone was kind of assuming that if someone was going to go after Rob and couldn't, that they might go after Jamil. That made some sense. But like, Jamil might have been the glue between those two, because I just never see them interact.
But I think hating Kim and Tina is the new glue.
That's the new
Nothing brings you together.
Yeah.
Look, because Claudia, by the end of this episode, there's nothing Kim and Tina can say now. There's nothing. Claudia's like, Jamil, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I'm gonna avenge you. I'm gonna avenge you. I was like, wait, what? You gonna avenge him? Y'all just met. She's like, nah, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over the Kim Bettina. So Claudia and Rob are now bonded by hatred.
Yes.
So Jamil, early on in the episode, we hear the story about Jamil, the reason he came to the island, his ex-wife. I think at that point I said, oh, I think Jamil's going home tonight. I think this is it for Jamil.
See, and I thought, oh, look, a story about someone not named Boston Rob that we could latch on to, because like Jenny said, there are people who are appearing on this show for the first time that I've never seen, never heard speak. I have nothing to say about them. And so Jamil's kind of one of those people. And so I was like, oh, look, a story about someone else. Cool. I did not think this is the visibility.
That's bad news. You don't want
that's the thing. I don't want that to be the edgic of Dondi. And when we start learning about someone next episode, it's going to be like getting to know you for, the next 20 minutes before you're gone.
There's 5 characters on this show. There's Boston, well, besides Joe Manganiello and the banker. There's Boston Rob, there's Aaron, there's Kim Bettina, there is Claudia, and there's Alyssa. That's the 5.
Yeah. Well, but I want more.
Don't worry about Dawson or Nick or Stephanie.
We love Stephanie, Dawson, Nick, Amy.
It's coming. No, it's coming. You guys saw that preview of the season. We see some non-Boston Rob related conflict. So, which is great. That's music to his ears. It's coming. I will say though, I felt like I was partially spoiled on Jamil going because I remember when at the end of the premiere, then they had the super clip of what's happening on this season.
You never watched
remembered
that.
I should not watch it. I didn't see anything else that spoils anything from what I know, but I did see one particular shot of them, and it's probably from the next episode now that I think about it, where I saw everyone in the cast lined up and I was like, who's missing? Who's missing? Because someone was missing. Because it looked like almost the entire cast. Branson was gone. Of course, I already knew that at that point. And Jamil was not there.
Wow.
And I was like, well, it could be a shot while they're waiting for their turn and he's doing something. So I didn't read too much into it at the time. But then when there was the storyline of oh, Jamil is protecting Rob, and then I started to see things. I'm like, okay, I see where the narrative is going here. So I was a little, and I'm like, we're getting background info on Jamil. So I just hope that the next episode we're not getting the very obvious edit of suddenly we know who this person is. I wonder why.
Yeah, if we start learning about Dawson's backstory, game over.
Dawson has been entertaining thus far in his 3 or 4 clips that we've gotten from him. Dawson's the one who said, oh yeah, we're the anti-Rob Alliance. Let's all put our hands in together, gang. And they were like, boo, stop.
Stop it. We know we know more about Dawson than we do Nick, who seems to be in the pro Rob camp. And I know very little about this man.
And who's that other woman you mentioned earlier? Is it
Miranda?
Miranda. That person was just casted today. They just put her on the show today. She was not on the first episode.
All I know is that she's with the people in the water, which is where you have the beach people and the
Boston Rob's people are always in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about the challenge here at the Bankers Hunting Club. And so we need a hunter.
Recreation club.
I'm sorry, Bankers Recreation Club. We need a hunter and we need a gatherer. It took me a minute to realize that we were in teams of 2, and I thought we had they started pulling all the different colors out. I was like, what's happening here? They were not 2 teams. They were teams of 2. And so they end up getting paired up. Boston Rob ends up being paired with Aaron, which made for a lot of comedy. We had some other pairings where Jamil and Claudia were together. And then, of course, Kim and Alyssa are working together. And so one person has to go up the tree, if you didn't see the episode. The other person stands with a crossbow. And so this was, I thought, interesting. In the real time, I was like, boy, I feel like maybe Boston Rob should be going up the tree because Aaron was really struggling. I kind of feel like Boston Rob gets Aaron 10 shots with the crossbow. He's got to hit something, right?
No. Boston Rob correctly identifies that he is the target. That whoever wins, deal or no deal, who goes down there with the banker, they are more than incentivized. Even if they're not one of Rob's like real allies, they're still incentivized to just clip Rob.
Well, I didn't get that until the end of the game.
Yeah, he's like, Rob is good at telling us the thing we're supposed to know because I didn't understand that either. But then
that's what he's the best at, and he always has been in terms of like when I first saw him on television, that he is the best at like talking to the person at home and making you at home feel like you're his friend, and he's going to tell you what's going on with all these other nitwits that are on here and how he's going to get one over on them. And he's the best at it. Maybe ever.
He called his shot. That's the most impressive part about it. He says, I need to be the one shooting and I need to have the highest amount because I need immunity because they will come for me. And you could give this man one shot. If you gave him one shot, he would have got it in one shot because that's what he did.
That's what he does.
Insane.
Jenny, this might have been Boston Rob's greatest moment ever.
In a challenge, for sure. Like, in terms of, like...
Any better than literally carrying his
family? I think this is the most impressive thing I've ever seen Rob do on the show. On any show.
Okay, so what we need to acknowledge here is that there are two components.
I high-fived myself at this point in the show, watching
the show.
I lost
my mind. Like, I was so freaking hype over this.
I'll text this Sam.
There are two components of this. So I think there was up to like 10, was it 10 arrows in the tree? Or 8 at least. And so you can run out of arrows and then you are automatically at the bottom because you've got no case.
Yeah.
And so it's up to the gatherer to gather as many arrows as they determine they want to get back to give the shooter. And then the larger case values have the smaller targets. Not only does Aaron take the longest to come back, he struggled. And to be fair to Aaron, he completely called this. As soon as they announced what this challenge was and they're paired up, he turns to Rob and says, this is not going to be very good. And Rob still, like Chappell says, calls his shot and says, I am going to be the shooter. And knowingly sends Aaron to struggle his way up this effing tree to come back with 3 arrows, the least amount of arrows that anyone came back with. And at this point, every pair except for Kim and Alyssa have shot down a briefcase. And Rob, his only play here is with his 3 measly arrows, just wait for Kim to hopefully screw up and then go for the biggest case. And the fact that he does this with the least amount of arrows is mind-blowing. Like, it felt scripted.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Good.
Yeah.
You could not write it any better. When Rob and Aaron show up with when they show up with their 3, Kim says, I have 6 arrows left. She had already been there shooting. She had double the amount that he had. Yeah, and he goes in and shoots the tiniest target with the last shot. I was like, if I didn't know that it wasn't rigged, Lord, I would have told y'all it was rigged. I couldn't believe my eyes, Rob.
It was amazing. And the fact that it's like, wait, why don't you just go for the 500,000? But he's like, I gotta go. The target there isn't the little disc. It's me. It's such an incredible moment. It was so great. I really mean this. I think this might be the most impressive thing. I'm trying to like rack my brain of like what Boston Rob's most impressive challenge performance off the top of my head. Survivor All-Stars when they do the challenge. Well, that's, I mean, that was fine. But they do Chappell, they do the challenge where they have to walk across the balance beam in the attack zone. And No, that wasn't where he beat up Ethan. That was on log rolling, I think. So, and then everybody is just like jumping off the thing because he's the only person that can walk across the thing as fast as possible and not fall off the balance beam. You mentioned Boston Rob literally carrying his family on his back. I think heroes versus villains, there's a lot of stuff like in the pre-merge where he's leading the team, has a lot of impressive moments there. And just off the top of my head, I feel like that this was like a singular one moment, like, wow.
One shot. And it was do or die too. Like, even though, you know, it wasn't necessarily like if he didn't make that shot, he was going home, because obviously like there are still a few more steps before that could happen. He treated it like he waited until he knew. He was like, this is what I have to do. This is my only option here. It is do or die.
He could see it. He could see, okay, Kim's going into the thing. She's gonna have the shot. And so if I don't go for this right here, Kim Matina is taking me out. That's not happening.
But not even just Kim. It could have been anybody. That's the thing. Rob wanted, he needed immunity. He was like, I'm not even going to leave it up to the rest of you bozos to potentially even get that idea that you should come after me. I'm shutting it down altogether. Because Jenny's right. You could go into the Deal or No Deal and not come back. You could, or it could have, like, Kim wasn't going to get the highest one there. Somebody else was going to get the highest one, and they might not have come after Rob. There are other things that could have saved him, but he took all doubt out of it. Just that, no, you know what?
I don't even want to be before.
We're not doing it.
Yeah. And then how about Joe Manganiello?
That's how you know it was impressive. His reaction, Rob.
Yeah.
Is that what you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, and he's like, Boston Robin Hood with the thing. And like and Boston Rob goes over, high fives Joe Manganiello.
Like Joe was excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
he was
Probst that excited about somebody else.
Joe is completely won over.
He's about to, he's about to go rewatch, like he's got to go watch all those seasons of Survivor. He's like, I gotta see what this guy is up to, because there's no way. Rob,
I think that Joe is a Survivor fan. I think that's what Rob said.
Oh, is he? Okay, cool. So yeah, so then he
did Rob say that with us, Jenny?
I think that's what he did say. Yeah.
Listen, if he is, then he had a moment just like we had. It was kind of like it takes you back to your childhood. We watched this man when we were wee lads and lasses. We seen him do this kind of stuff. We thought, isn't that guy so cool? And now he does it again. You're like, man, Superman in a fat suit is still Superman, you know? And it's so dope.
That was Colby.
Yeah. My bad, Rob. Ignore the fat suit. It was.
He also is saying he's like not a superhero, but
can I play the superhero clip? I a clip from the episode. This was a great moment. The 2-person confessional. Anytime you have Rob and Aaron together, it's comedy. Here's they're comparing what superhero duo are they?
Superheroes seem like Batman Robin guy.
I'm not Robin.
I know, someone that was like good in chaos,
under pressure.
Under pressure.
Good under pressure.
Hawkeye.
That's not a superhero. I know, that's from MASH.
Okay. All right. So this is a good week. All right. Neither of you are MASH people, right? And I'm not even a MASH person.
The only MASH I know is like the game.
So Aaron's talking about the Hawkeye from the Avenger. Boston Rob is talking about Hawkeye, the character from the sitcom MASH. Boston Rob's like, hey, I don't even know what the MCU is. Okay.
Right. But he knows MASH.
Boston Rob watches the Andy Griffith show, right? Like, for sure.
Andy Griffith Alliance. He knows about.
He would have been in that alliance for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was incredible. I have been like, I've been a fan of Boston Rob. I've never been a super fan of Boston Rob, but in this moment, I've been converted. I see it. It's there. It's there.
Yeah.
Take me to the end. Let me lose to this guy. I get it. I understand.
It's wild.
It's just right.
The Riz is unstoppable.
Hawkeye, not a superhero. That's from MASH. That is not.
That doesn't even count. That's not a superhero.
That is the oldest thing that man has ever said. Like,
and Aaron's like, okay, whatever you say.
Kim Matina's like, hey, are you talking about MASH?
Right.
Oh, I
Aaron's
love that show.
Aaron's like, chill, grandpa and grandma. It's okay.
Mhm.
We're on Dondi now. Don't worry.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those two together
Okay.
are really funny though, because it's like they're not always they're rarely speaking the same language.
Yeah.
Which makes for a fun dynamic. Clearly.
Okay. All right. So meanwhile, Alyssa, she used to be a instructor at some kind of rock climbing
I think she did
gym.
summer camp or something.
Summer
She was,
camp,
like a
yeah.
camp
They do the
counselor.
ropes courses.
Ropes course,
yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
She's doing
Mhm.
great. She's like a Spider Woman.
That's from
I think
that.
you're gonna say
know who
Spider
that is.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, so she's going up there. She gets. Do we ever find out what her advantage is that she gets in the episode?
She got a
She
20K.
Oh, 20K. Okay, I thought she got some kind of advantage.
Personal-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
Yeah.
she hid
stole
it
some money.
from everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay.
But she told Aaron.
Okay,
Mhm.
but she comes home with all the arrows, and then she hands them all off to Kim Matina, and
K-Mac.
Joe Manganiello's like, Kim, how many arrows do you got? She said, I got more than
A
that,
lot.
so many. I got a lot. And
of
Kim
Tremendous
Matina tells
amount
us
of
a
arrows.
tremendous amount of arrows.
Several.
And yes, so Kim Matina tells us that also she's a hunter, Chappell.
Yeah.
She brought home
Well,
an
look,
elk and a deer.
Yeah.
Right.
Does that mean she hunted them? Did she just transport them home?
Look. Maybe
she
she
said
didn't use
she
a
brought them
crossbow.
home. That
There's a
is what
difference
she
between-
said.
But she didn't say she used them with a crossbow. Like, like we see Dawson in this episode say, I own a crossbow, and then proceed to prove to us that maybe owning a crossbow just isn't enough, But he hit something Kim did not. It's pretty bad. Like I know that Kim Matina, she's familiar with Boston Rob's work. She, like us, was probably amazed, but knowing that she was on the other end of this thing, I know she was sitting back at camp like, how does he keep getting away with this? Like, how does he keep getting away with this? Like, what? Who is this guy?
It was the bookends of it all, though, that Alyssa came back with the maximum amount of arrows, gave Kim the best odds of making something major happen. The biggest case still out there, because I think Jamil and Claudia got like the 751 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Aaron returning the latest with the least amount of arrows, like giving Rob the smallest shot of making it happen. Like, it was just picture perfect.
Jenny, why didn't Kim Matina move over to one of the bigger targets when she only had 5 arrows left?
I don't know what she eventually moved, because I remember that she was like not making any progress, and then someone said move to the 500.
Okay.
It was like,
but
get
then
something
that wasn't working.
if you can't. Yeah, it was like, get something since it doesn't look like you're gonna get this.
One
this
arrow she just like dropped on the floor.
Yeah, but I think that Kim felt like she probably was in the same position as Rob, where it's like, I need to be immune, and so she's aiming for the little, the smallest target with the biggest case, and she wastes a lot of her shots doing that when she could have potentially just been, in the middle of the pack somewhere. But not to say that she wouldn't have been the person that, if someone else comes back from, Deal or No Deal, they don't just pick on Kim. So I think she might have felt a very similar way, that it was Kim's group versus Rob's group, and if Rob's group wins, the obvious target is Kim.
Yeah,
Which at that point, I believe that it was Jamil and Claudia who had the biggest case. So they would have been the ones in power. So
very impressive, Claudia, with her one shot taking out that incredible, right?
Yeah,
and trash talking too. Like, like this is okay. Claudia is providing so much more entertainment
She's so good.
than I ever expected. I did not know much about her going into this. When she's introducing herself to everyone in the little, like, let's all introduce ourselves and tell us about each other. Like, she's like, I'm Claudia, I'm an Aries. Like, and she is. You know what I mean? Like,
how dare you? I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Jenny, but I don't know. Well, slow down.
Chappell, you know what I mean.
It means that she's a lovely lady.
She's bringing
nice,
fire.
she's polite, she's warm. And warm and fiery.
The warmth is fire. It is fire that she is just like breathing on people at all times. But she is so fun. Like, she's constantly trash talking. She's always commenting during like the Deal or No Deal game. Like she has some fun moments later in the episode. But I just love that. Like we're down.
We'll
to
get
Kim.
to them. We'll get to them.
We're down to Kim and Rob with their arrows, and Claudia just cannot help herself being like, you guys need some extra arrows. We only needed one to get ours done. Like just salting the wounds. Like this woman is so funny.
Perfect.
Perfection.
Okay.
Lethal.
All right. Also, Joe Manganiello, also, I think his hosting, I think, is coming a long way. Like during the shooting of the arrows, he's going like full like Masters announcing, like,
yes.
All right, Boston Rob is lining up here. He's got his arrow shot, and he just missed.
Oh, that must have been the wind.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I'm really enjoying him.
Let's then talk about after the challenge. We see Alyssa and Aaron talking about the personal offer. Aaron really loves having a friend out here.
Yeah, she's got this boy wrapped around her fingers. It's sad. I'm like, Aaron, stand up, damn it, stand up.
Yeah.
She's like,
okay.
She's like, oh, Aaron, I got something to tell you. I want some money. He's like, that's great. She's like, yeah. So it's not me going home. He's like, no, he says, are you gonna pitch me to not put you down? She's like, oh, I didn't think I would have to. He's like, of course not, babe. You save, girl. I like, Alyssa, queen. I see you, girl. Work.
Listen, we're at this point, we're like, pretty and powerful woman. Alyssa, is this the Dondi Parvati?
Like,
no, don't put that on her.
Parvati. Everyone's Parvati now.
Yes.
Boston Rob is going to catch on very soon.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe
either
it'll be like
with
Winners
me
at
or
War.
you're against me. Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I love I really like the playful friendship between Aaron and Alyssa because Aaron's just like, you're not gonna ask me if I'm gonna like put you in. She's like, you're not gonna put me in. Like,
stop,
please, Aaron.
Right. Boy, get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, Rob and his crew, they're over in the water and they see, there's Aaron talking to Alyssa. And so Aaron is like, I just told her that we're going to put Kim into the Deal or No Deal. And he's like, hey, come on, stop it. You're screwing up. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
It's like, now
knock it off.
Grabs Aaron by the ear and just like, come here, come on, stop talking.
Yeah. And Robin, I think, is doing his part to sort of like say that this decision isn't his part. That he's like, this is really Aaron calling the shots here because everybody can see, obviously, in the duo of Boston Rob and Aaron has like all of the agency, making all of the decisions for the group.
What a professional. This man, Rob, has been here before. Okay. He's done this. He knows the game. That man says, yeah, it's really, I'm just leaving it up to my partner, whatever he wants to do. It's just, my hands, I don't know. When Aaron says he's going to do something, I mean, what am I going to do? I'm just Boston Rob. I don't know.
Listen,
okay, Rob.
He found the arrows. I just shot them.
I just shoot them,
This is all him.
He did the hard. He did the hard part.
Arrows.
Yeah. If he wants him out, who am I? What am I supposed to do?
I just hit that tiny target. It's not about me.
Yeah.
Let's come back to Kim Matina and Claudia Jordan. Okay.
Oh.
This is my favorite part of the episode. Okay.
I'm so excited for this.
We start off with Kim is weeping to Claudia about how she has dental bills that will not be able to be paid if she loses, and Claudia is not buying it.
Mm-hmm. She said it's dry.
Yeah,
she was like,
okay, let me play the clip. This is the end
tears.
of this conversation. This is after Kim walks away. Claudia says,
I didn't see not one tear coming out of her eye. Those are some dry ass tears.
Dry ass tears.
That's what I have in my notes. Dry ass tears. That's the
dry ass
term.
Tears.
Yeah.
Sounds
that should
like
be the
a
thumbnail
condition.
for this episode of the podcast. Dry ass tears.
Look, Kim Matina is a gamer. So I am leaning toward, yeah, she probably was doing a little crocodile tear game here a little bit, making people feel bad for her. Hopefully she can avoid being in that spot because it's looking bad. But the way Claudia is sick of Kim's shit, she is done. She's like, no, Kim, I'm over it. And it gets better, Rob. They just, everything Kim says, they're like, oh God, will you just stop talking, Lord?
And they're both still here.
And they're not going anywhere. I need more.
Yeah.
More.
Well,
more.
The conversation in like the little tent thing was just so awkward too, because I think it was like Stephanie was the other person there. It was like comforting Kim. And you can just like the camera is just like, on Claudia, just like you can tell she's studying Kim, being like looking for like the littlest bit of moisture. What's going on?
Should she have gotten like a tissue?
Nothing happening.
Yeah,
she's like, and she's checking it. She's like, I don't see any moisture on this tissue. You're like, well, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it seemed like dry as tears. I don't know if it was the editing, but I swear it looked like Kim was barely like a foot away from Claudia, where she's turning to the camera, having her own little Jim Halpert moment, like being like, those were
she's so
dry
good.
Ass tears.
She's so
like
good.
She knows what she's doing. Yes. Like Kim is barely out of the frame when she says this. Like it was so good. She doesn't care. Like they're throwing like barbs at each other like directly at this point, basically.
Okay. All right. So time to go to the banker's temple. Okay. Rob says, Kim, well, she has the best chance to beat the banker. She has to go into the, we got to set her up.
Yeah.
Who better than Kim Matina?
Who better than
man
Kim?
just
Like,
feeding
Rob,
us.
you sly dog. We see you.
Yeah.
I could not be. I'm sorry. If you were there and you hear Rob doing this, you're torn between like, Rob, boy, stop. And also like, well, you gotta respect it, what are you gonna do? What's he supposed to say? Kim, we
style points,
right?
Yeah.
You gotta get some style points.
Okay, so 12 cases here. It was so funny here between Rob, Claudia, and Jamil, how they are like pretending to root for Kim, but rooting for her into giving her all like bizarro advice, like trying to make her lose and like cheering her on and throwing out suggestions that are all bad suggestions. I think that's my favorite part of this show is the people that are in the peanut gallery who want you to lose, but are acting like they want you to win and giving you bad suggestions. It'd be like if you were on Wheel of Fortune and like, X, come on. Is there a Q?
Buy a Q.
Yeah.
Very much.
Just like the Price is Right, just like the whole audience just like yelling at the worst bids.
Yeah.
possible.
$2.
Yeah.
$3 million.
Yeah, it's great. So, all right.
Jamil looked like he was gonna puke the entire time, though. Like, I think he just knew he had to have known by this point because every time they panned over to him, there was fear. He was like fear-stricken eyes, like terrible.
Okay, so Kim picks her case. She's going through. She starts off hot, then gets ice cold. The Deal or No Deal case openers also are always hilarious. Like there's always unintentional comedy that sometimes they're like, and they're like,
oh, that's canon. That's from
that's canon.
Because it's their personal problem.
Yes,
if they open a bad case.
The one woman is like, don't hate me, and then it's like why would I hate the person that opened the suitcase? Like I'm like, you B word. What's your problem?
But I get it though, Rob. I would be like, oh, you're gonna have a negative association with me now because I'm opening.
You're never gonna forget me. Oh, we have overlooked one of my favorite parts. Is that also while Claudia can talk as much trash as she wants about Kim, everything that Kim says, everybody's like, oh my God. She says, hopefully I win the money and I come back and kick everybody's ass. And I think Rob's like, oh, that's aggressive. I said,
yeah. The pearls were being clutched.
Yeah. Okay.
Like everywhere.
What?
Well, okay, so let's get to this. This is a
That's a
really
little
good back
rough.
and forth. Okay, so we get down to, we get a call from the banker, okay?
Oh,
Here's the deal. $123,000 is the offer. There are 2 suitcases that would be a better offer than that, which would mean Kim made a good deal. There are 4 suitcases that are worse. So and Jenny, you're the expert here now because
no.
you got this right.
What
You got this
expert?
right. I had it wrong last week. Okay. So there's a 33% chance that Kim could make a good deal, 66% chance that she's going to lose. Rob, Jamil, Claudia, take the deal.
Great deal.
You got
Love
this.
Love this deal.
$123K. You can't sneeze at that. That's a good deal. I know a good deal when I see one, Kim. Take the deal.
And Kim's like, $1.5 million is up there. And they're like, yeah, 123, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
What?
So Kim says, I'm going to keep going, which leads to another incredible exchange, this time between Claudia and Kim.
You've just turned down a $123,000 addition to the final case in favor of a risky move for yourself.
I think that was a mistake. You're not in a good position right now.
Oh. Okay.
But we can't do coulda, shoulda, woulda, right?
Okay.
I need Claudia to be wrong. And that's disrespectful.
Claudia's like, that's too much.
Claudia says, "Oh, sorry, babe, you're going home. You know what? I mean, you could better luck next time, boo." And Kim says, "Well, I hope you're incorrect." Oh my God!
Oh my
That's
God!
disrespectful.
How dare you?
Disrespectful.
You watch her filthy mouth, Kim Bettina. She barely said anything to these people.
I'm gonna take you out, woman.
Like, say that shit again. Say it again. I swear to God. She's like, that's. I hope you're wrong. Oh my God. Preposterous. She was upset. I'm telling you, Kim has gotten so far up these people's ass. They are sick of her. They are sick. They're tired of it. She can do nothing right with these people.
And
that's disrespectful.
This is also like exacerbated by the fact that Claudia is pissed too. That she's like that she keeps going. She's like, God, she almost took the deal.
Why
Like,
won't
come
you
on.
Just lose. Just go
She's
home.
like, I hope you're wrong. Disrespectful. But I will continue to tell you that you are dumb and made a bad decision.
Okay. So now Kim goes back. She's got to open 2 more cases. Opens 50K, opens 300K. New offer comes in. $225K. Okay. So there's the $1.5 million suitcase and then 3 low numbers. So now Kim has a 75% chance to stay. This time, though Rob and Claudia and Jamil told her $123,000, good deal, take that deal. The banker calls back. $225K is the new offer. Kim now has a 75% chance to stay. They're like, no deal. Keep going.
Please, come on.
Keep going.
One more. We'll need the money.
1.5 million is there. What are we doing?
The banker even says, damn, Kim, you better at this game than you were the other game. It's bad when the banker's like, yeah, if you was this good at shooting them arrows, you would have been immune this time because you killed this game.
Mud.
So Kim's going to take the deal. They open up the suitcase, $100. Kim has beaten the banker.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
70, I would say maybe 60% went wild. You could see like a few people stationary, like people were jumping up, and there was like a few people that were like,
damn.
Yeah.
It might have been Claudia and Jamil and Rob.
All right. So Kim has to make her choice. Who is she going to send home? She can't send home Rob. She can't send home Aaron. So she's sending home a person that she calls covertly sneaky.
Yes.
It's
but not to his
Jamil.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So her explanation here in her confessional is that Jamil is covertly sneaky, but Claudia is directly sneaky. So she can see what she's doing.
And that's
so
disrespectful.
and And that it is what she's doing is disrespectful. And knowledge is power. We got a KIP reference here. And so that's ultimately why Jamil is going out here.
And Jamil. On the way out, Jamil turns to everybody not named Kim and says, the winner is one of y'all. The winner is right in front of me. He says, good luck. I know one of y'all will be the winner. He turns his back to Kim as he says that to everybody. I scream. Because at first I thought, like, of course one of them will be the winner. Duh. Like, all the contestants are standing there, and I realized, oh, they're not all standing there, actually.
That
behind him.
I'm so glad you pointed that out, because when I watched this, I was like, Jamil, are you okay? Like, I know that something traumatic just happened. Like, you just lost a game. Obviously, he's like, yeah, someone here is going to win money. I did not notice that he was basically like singling out Kim, being like, she will not win. And
she's
over one
here.
Of the rest of you.
Yes. He turned around to the peanut gallery and said, the winner is on this mat. Kim's like,
not over here. Okay, that makes so much more sense, because at first I was like, what is he talking about? Like, isn't that the point of the game? Does he think that maybe Joe wins? Like, what is happening here?
The banker wins.
So shade
from
Jamil.
Banker could win.
And then as everyone's saying their goodbyes to Jamil, Claudia is saying, like, I will get her for you. Like, it's on.
Yeah.
It's permission to get Kim out. Here we go.
No
one's talking about Rob.
Hey, this is a good TV, man.
Yeah, it's good. Claudia said Kim is trashy also.
I think she said it was
maybe.
ugly.
Okay.
I think she said like the way that
ugly.
Okay. So I think she was I think what she said was like, why did she go after Jamil? Like, he didn't even do anything. Like, this is ugly.
Yeah.
And
I'm thinking, well, okay, Claudia, you pick. Who should Kim have chosen?
Because it was gonna be you if not Jamil. So
yeah. What about is there a Miranda here or something? Yeah.
Nick, raise your hand. You know, like, bro, what were you like? What did you think was about to happen? Amy from Oklahoma. You know, are you here? You know, so that's what's like. Nobody has done anything to Kim except for the people who are sneakily talking about her behind her back, trying to get her to take the wrong deals, and forming a coalition and promising that they'll get revenge whenever she does something that they don't like. I'm sorry, but Jamil had to go. I don't hate the choice. I think it's very interesting. I'm ready to see the fallout of this, because this is getting good.
Kim's rationale made complete sense. Like, this move for her, and you know, if we are going to weigh the challenges into, I mean, listen, this saved Rob's ass tonight. Like, the fact that he just completely owned the arrow game. So Jamil was good. Like, Jamil was physical. Like, you know, him and Claudia had the next highest target. So I don't hate the pick for Kim. If you can't get rid of Rob yourself, like, and her rationale about Jamil being a little bit more covertly, where, like, you know, she's looking at Claudia being like, you're messy. Like, right. I can see what you're doing. Like, game recognized game. I know what I'm getting with you.
Yeah. I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Regarding the banker. Joe Magnaniello, he says, I was butchering this man's name. I don't care. Joe Magnaniello says, Manganello says,
there you go.
All right. There's a personal prize that you can get if you climb the tree and get it. But, you know, it's $20K. And if you do that and get your target hit, the banker's going to love that. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell does that matter? Is the banker going to save you or something like that? He's like, even the first episode, when they don't get the red, he's like, the banker didn't love that. Wouldn't it be great if somebody went in there? The banker, I was like, why is the banker like influencing them? And they're not paying him any mind. They're
it's
like,
a good point, Chappell. Like, they kind of paint the banker that this is a, like, Deal or No Deal Island, the private island. They kind of paint it like it's kind of like a Willy Wonka situation where it's like the banker is looking for a new person to take over. He's thinking of retiring to the yacht full time, and if the banker likes the cut of your jib, it just might be you.
It might be. Yeah.
He likes somebody who's not afraid to take some risks, not afraid to really YOLO.
Now,
is this drowned in the chocolate river like Augustus?
But is this Succession? Is this the banker is Logan Roy?
I thought Boston Rob was Logan Roy.
Well, I'm just saying, if we can keep finding Succession parallels here, if the banker is looking for someone to take over, is he toying with them like Logan Roy and being like, who can show me that they have what it takes to take over? Like, I'm just saying. One thing I love though, it's such a stupid and small, silly thing about this show. I love the fake banter on the phone between Joe Manganiello and the banker. Like, there's not even a real phone call.
Can you do it? Can you do it, Jenny?
Like,
you have the phone?
It's just like, okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello? Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh. Yes. Okay. Yep, I'll let them know. Okay. Like, I love this. It's just nonsense. And like, we get the shot of the yacht with the helicopter landed on like the deck of the yacht. And Joe is just like pretending to have like a 15 to 20 second conversation. Like, he knows
he's quick.
What the deal
he's quick,
is.
the banker. But Chappell, it's 2024. Can the banker ever text?
Yeah, I was like, I got a text. Hold on. Okay, 125K. Y'all good with that?
Yeah.
It's an iPhone, and he's putting it up to his ear. Like, give Joe an AirPod.
Yeah, but could you imagine having a friend that calls you every 2 minutes for like a 15-second conversation?
I have Sam.
Yeah. I like
that. That's not 15 seconds. What are you talking about, Chappell? I've had a phone call from Sam Moore. 15 seconds, my ass.
Rob, hold on. It's Sam.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite is when Joe gets a phone call and he's like, okay, you sure? Like, he's kind of like, are you sure about that, big guy? I don't know. That's kind of... I don't know if I would do that, but yeah.
He's an actor. This is his improv.
This was 2007. Joe would have one of those big ass Bluetooth headsets on, like he's in a drive-thru. Like, yeah, banker. Yeah, hold on. Oh,
okay.
Martina, gotcha. All right.
All right.
I just love it. I hope they never stop that.
That's Dondi. We're loving it.
Dondi!
Okay. All right. So Chappell, get ready to talk to Jamil. He's going to be calling in on the phone. Jamil.
Like
Jamil. And I suggest not just going, yes.
What did she say? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you told her about the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
You shot down a big case. Did you tell her that part?
Okay.
You didn't get it, but
Yep. Okay.
This was an effort to get his wife back. He put up a valiant effort, but he did fall short, and I'm dying to ask him the question. So I cannot wait to do my exit interview with Jamil tomorrow.
All right, check that out tomorrow in the Hit or Quit podcast feed, robbinswebsite.com/hit-or-quit-feed. Jenny, what's coming up for you?
I am just vibing. I'm I
love that for you.
I have nothing. Like, my life is Dondi right now, and then just like, watching shows and protecting my peace, spending less time on social media. I will say, follow me on social media at Jenny Otto, but like, also sometimes I'll just like be like, this is not a good day to go on Twitter, and that's fine. And I think it's really good for me. But then I'm having a lot of fun now that Survivor is back, and like getting on to do a little live tweeting for the episode, and then just like going ghost for a couple days. Like, it's kind of fun. I'm having a good time. No, I'm just living life. I'm really having so much fun podcasting with the two of you about Dondi. It's like really just...
It's been a really fun ride so far.
When Dondi Day comes along, like I'm not joking. I said at the top of the episode, like, pep in my step. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, guys.
Yep. Okay. All right, Jenny, we'll see you next week for Dondi. And then Chappell, we know about the exit interview. What else?
RHAPkickback.com. I'm glad you asked. So yeah, you can catch me over there doing all of the fun podcasting that I'm doing that is not on this network. We're having a great time on both, of course. But yeah, on Recap Kickback, Mari and I will be talking about Mea Culpa, this week. And it's a great time. Tyler Perry's Mea Culpa. Then we also have Abbott Elementary coverage every other week with me and Gia Worthy. I think I'm going to bring Tyrone back to talk about the Freaknik documentary on Hulu. So that's going to be a good time. Then you can also catch me guesting in various spots. I was on the Bachelor Recap podcast with Haley Strong and Amy. I'll be on Crime Scene talking about As We Speak, the Rap Music on Trial documentary. And of course, Rob, I'm talking to you about Survivor now. Like, we got a lot going on here.
Okay, check it out from earlier on Monday that Chappell and I got together for a Club Condo, the new podcast where we talk about all of the crazy stuff going on Survivor and in the world of Survivor beyond Deal or No Deal Island every Monday. So check that out, robisthewebsite.com. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for Hit or Quit. Donde. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.